And we've all heard, so many of us have heeded the call to get the COVID vaccine. To do otherwise might seem to some selfish or un-American. But there is a very large number of eligible people who remain unvaccinated in spite of the calls by the White House and the CDC to get the shots. Right now, nearly 58% of eligible Americans over the age of 12 are fully vaccinated. That means over 100 million people still aren't. Beyond a general distrust of vaccines among some of our friends and family and neighbors, we decided to ask why. With COVID cases on the rise in places where fewer people are vaccinated, many, we're talking tens of millions of people, are choosing not to get the shots. In some of the largest counties in the nation, less than half are fully vaccinated. In places like Dallas County, less than 38% have received both shots. According to Jackie Schlegel with Texans for Vaccine Choice, they aren't just anti-vaxxers.
I have heard a lot of reasons why people are not choosing to get this vaccine. Some are waiting for that FDA approval, and I think that is a legitimate and valid reason to wait to get the vaccine.
Others we talked to across the country shared the same concerns, unknown side effects being one of them. The very same reason that medical experts say should be cause to get the vaccine, those with pre-existing conditions, is a big reason for why some are deliberately not getting a shot. Some are uneasy about complications due to their already existing health issues, whether from previous surgeries, disability, or even allergies. Some are apprehensive about public health campaigns, hesitant not only of the vaccine, but government overreach.
The more this is pushed in the way that it's pushed, that in and of itself is alarming to them. The fact that agencies are showing up at our doorstep is ringing some bells with people that, that's making them apprehensive about this.
Among other reasons, people we talked to were weary because they were unsure of the vaccine's efficacy, and now more reluctant since there have been a number of cases where vaccinated individuals still contracted COVID. Most are dedicated to their right to freedom of choice.
I literally cannot keep up with how many individuals are at risk of losing their jobs right now because of this vaccine mandate. I think they have very valid and legitimate concerns, whether it be medical, whether it be privacy, whether it be liberty or freedom.